booties for black girl nerds.
Marsai, always so proud when I get a chance to speak with you and see what you're involved in. You're such a wonderful young lady and a performer, and your portrayal of Prue Granger is wonderful as well, like all of your other roles. When you think of support, because it highlights a lot of themes of support and friendship and sisterhood, when you think of Prue Granger and you think of yourself at this point in your career, what does support look like to you from your friend groups? Because it's always evolving as we change.
It always is evolving for sure. I see support as someone you can trust, really, someone that you can talk to about anything, really. And from honestly, support can come from afar or from up close, really. And I feel like I have so many amazing supporters all around me, and I'm very loved for that, and I'm very grateful for. Sorry, that's my Invisalign. Very grateful for. Anyways, yeah, I mean, support comes in so many ways, but I feel like it all starts with love and trust, and I mean, comfort from who you're around. So, like, to where you can just be yourself, really. I feel like that's a big self-care thing for me, is having people that I trust and people that truly love me for me being around me. So no, support can come in many ways.
Mm-hmm. Along with that support coming in many ways, it made me think of your No Black Pain initiative when you're selecting roles, because that's also providing support for young actresses that will come after you and want to travel the same lane and not participate in these types of projects. How does this role fit into that initiative that you've selected for yourself and how you want to proceed in your career?
Ooh, I mean, I would definitely say a character like Prue, she is just so goal driven and such a leader in her own way. And she's very mature for her age. She doesn't let anything stop her from what she wants to do. And she lives for herself, not for anyone else. So, I mean, having strong female Black leads in the forefront is, in any way, animated or not, is the best thing for me and the best thing for other young Black girls to really see. So, connecting it to the Black trauma situation and the boundaries that I've had against that. I mean, honestly, that's just really who I've been liking, or like not really liking, but the things that I've watched for so long is things that I only watch really like confident in things that make you feel good, like Black joy. So no, I would definitely say I would love to create stuff like that and create more projects, and being a part of stuff that makes people feel good, makes people happy, makes people feel any types of emotions, and making them feel something that is other than feeling pain for our community. So.
Absolutely. And lastly, as an EP and now evolving in your career as a performer and behind the scenes, does it change how you approach a role now that you have a broader sense of what the end game is for a project, whether you're the EP or not?
Oh, of course. I feel like even this, the more I grow up and the more the stuff like I want to see and I want to be a part of it, it changes like drastically, like all the time. But yeah, of course. That's kind of like the short answer for it. I mean, ever since Blackish, and then growing into more different projects that I want to be a part of, or even seeing something that inspires me to be a part of something like that as well. But no, I mean, it very, it's like, I don't know really, but yeah, I know there's probably all over the place, but
that's okay.
Yeah.
You have the space for it. You're a marvelous young lady, and your growth is just beautiful and beautiful to watch every day. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Take care.
Yes, you too.
Eiza, I feel so full circle. You're literally the last person I interviewed before the pandemic started.
Oh, no way.
For Bloodshot.
Wow. And here we are.
And here we are again. And this is such a beautiful film that explores so many powerful themes for young ladies, for people in general, but particularly in young ladies. What I enjoyed mostly is that Lucky is honoring her mother's heritage, her mother's history. We have umpteen stories about men who are fighting for the legacy of the family, carrying on the legacy. How does a film like this start to shift that narrative that we too, as women and young ladies, can carry on the family legacy and the family name and heritage?
That's an incredible question. I think that, first of all, it's a testament to how proactive DreamWorks is. I think that if you really pay attention to the type of movies they've done, if you look at The Croods, Trolls, this movie, it's always, they really are very, very aware of female empowerment, and not in an empty way, but a really multifaceted way, meaning what people like to call strong female roles, right? Strong is the word that people like to use. And I think that strong engulfs a lot of things, and that's being comfortable, being vulnerable, being scared, being terrified, but also jumping into a journey and really trying to succeed. Women with determination, with drive, fearless, with courage. And I thought, this movie really engulfs all of the above. Not only that, but as you touched on, it really embraces heritage and your roots. And I think that is a conversation that needs to be seen, not in a very superficial way, like, oh, this is who I am, let's move on, and the subject of the movie is a full different one. This movie is about a self discovery journey, and that involves finding the roots of a history and a tradition that you weren't raised with, and as a Latin woman who has left her country 10 years ago and has been now, I'm 31 years old and I still struggle with the cultural shock. I can imagine the amount of kids watching this who are mixed, and as the way that Lucky is Mexican American, and how that defines you. And I just feel like this movie touches on a lot of subjects that are important. Not only that, but also addresses how, in the sense of female empowerment, is how not to peg women against each other, but to team up to be stronger together. And I think that at the end of the day, the more the merrier. And it's just that the messages behind this movie are so incredibly helpful for younger generations. And the way that it happened to you and I growing up with animation, this will define you as a human being. The movies we grew up with really define you. So I'm just thrilled to be part of a small part of a movie like this that is really just positive all around for society.
Small but meaningful. Don't minimize your contribution to it, because it is meaningful, because a mother is often the heart of anything. We're just on the heels of Mother's Day, a week out from Mother's Day, and the bond between a mother and a daughter is so special, so significant. When you think of that mothering bond between you and the special women in your life who have helped bring you and usher you into womanhood, what do you reflect on when you think about some of those bonds?
Well, I wouldn't be where I am without the women in my life. Women have played such a significant part of my growth and my support system, and it really embodies not only my mother, who obviously is my biggest fan and my favorite advocate. She's always supporting me through the hardest times in my life, but also my chosen family, which is my girlfriends, my friends, the women who have supported me and have been there when I'm crying and heartbroken, but also have experienced the best times of my lives. I mean, I can't expand and I could go for hours on how women have defined me. It's so crazy to go back home and be with my best friends who I grew up with and were, I was mischievous and partying and doing stuff, and now I see them being mothers and bringing people to life and to this world, and really, becoming these incredible superheroes. And I'm just incredibly inspired by women. Not only that, but women who work. I have so many of my closest friends who are what I love to call the real superheroes, which they're mothers, they're women that work, business women, women with drive, women with values, women with morals. And I'm just so happy that movies like this are pushing that narrative every day more and more.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to see you again. This is a beautiful, beautiful film. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you liked it. I hope to see you soon again.
Me too. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye. Elaine, this was such a beautiful film. It was so touching. It was lovely, and it caught me off guard and how it touched me emotionally. As part of your repertoire, you've worked on projects that are moving and have strong story. How does something catch your eye like Spirit Untamed at this point in your history?
Well, first, thank you so much for all the kindness. It's so nice to hear that the story is already reaching out to people in a way so deeply. But, for me as a storyteller, when I'm first looking at projects to becoming involved with, it's the crucial beginning point is that there's something or many things in that story that I can personally relate to on a very deep level. Mm-hmm. And for me with this story, there are multiple things. I grew up riding horses since I was 8 or 9 years old. So I felt I had a really deep understanding of that human horse relationship and the unspoken conversation that happens. The other side of things is our hero character, Lucky, and her journey of discovering what she's fully capable of because of the support of the family and friends behind her. I wouldn't be sitting here in this chair today if it wasn't for my family and friends. And, just the idea of coming to a point in your life where you're brave enough to be your authentic voice. And when you do that is when you can fully understand who you are. I'm not saying I'm there yet, but I think she's just so inspiring and hopefully is inspiring to a lot of the young audience members that will see the movie.
I think a lot of young audience members and as adults as well will enjoy this in that, well, a thing that immediately popped out to me is the fact that Lucky wants to honor her mother's, once she gets to know more about her mother's lineage and history and what she was involved in. We see a lot of stories where lineage and heritage, those are stories inherently told from the male lens and how they've got to do all these things to carry the family name because they are the males. But here, it's different in that she wants to carry on her mother's lineage and things that have been hidden from her. When you're telling a story with those types of themes, what's a priority for you as a director when you speak with your cast members, things you want to convey, things you want to prioritize?
Yeah, I mean, for me, priority is just being real about it, being honest and telling the truth and finding ways to connect to these characters that we can draw life experience, and throw it up on the screen. I think with Lucky, she starts out as this young woman who's in an environment where everyone's telling her everything she's doing is wrong, and she doesn't understand why, because she doesn't know who she is. The truth of her past has been hidden from her. So it becomes her mission to understand herself, but by way of doing that, she reconnects with her roots and her culture and her mother. I feel like that journey is translatable to so many different ideas in a lot of people's lives that we all go through at a young age.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I thank you for your time. This film is gorgeous. The trusting the horses to walk through the cliffs was one of my favorite scenes of the film, and it was just beautiful. And I thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. It was nice meeting you.
You too. Take care.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.